Last week, we had discussed that Snoop Dogg biopic is going to be happening soon. Well, guess what? They already signed on the new Snoop Dogg. It's Jonathan Davis. He's set to star as the venerable hip-hop artist. What the hell does venerable mean? I've never seen that word before in my life. In any case, you may recognize him from Outer Banks or Do Revenge, which I believe both are on Netflix. I'm excited for the film. I can't speak to whether or not this will be good castings. I didn't watch Outer Banks or Do Revenge. But remember when Lakeith Stanfield played Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton? That was crazy. In sequel news, Bill Pullman and Rick Moranis are set to reprise their respective roles as Lone Star and Dark Helmet in the new SpaceBalls movie from Amazon Studios with Keke Palmer, who you may remember from One of Them Days. And nope. But joining the cast is also Bill Pullman's son. I think it's Lewis Pullman. I don't have it written here, but he was in Thunderbolts recently. Decent actor. I'm sure he has some other credits, but that's what he was in most recently. I was never like a hardcore Mel Brooks fan, but he always had my respect. I loved History of the World and Young Frankenstein. Spaceballs, I was never, before a couple years ago, a huge Star Wars fan. Now, I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, minus Andor. In any case, I will be rewatching Spaceballs soon. And I like the fact that they're also bringing back Mel Brooks for the 2027 release of Spaceballs 2. And Mel Brooks is 97 years old. He will return as Yogurt. This is classified as a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel, part 2, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film. I'm guessing all the returning characters will play smaller roles than what we're used to from the first film, but I'm sure it'll still be fun depending on the director, who I don't think that they have. Oh, they did get one. Josh Greenbaum, who did Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, which is a hilarious film with Kristen Wiig. He'll direct from a script by Benji Samet, Dan Hernandez, and Josh Gad, the snowman man from fucking Frozen. I'm sure he'll play John Candy's character's son in Spaceballs 2 or something. But if you want to watch Spaceballs 1, head over to HBO Max. Robert Eggers will be directing the new A Christmas Carol. Will it be a horror film? I doubt it, but please be one anyways. If you don't know the name, he recently did the smash hit Nosferatu, which is basically Dracula, but with longer ears and an uglier face. I don't think he's ever done anything non-horror. So if this is a straight up just retelling of A Christmas Carol, I'm interested. I believe the closest interpretation of A Christmas Carol was with Jim Carrey in Robert Zemeckis' CGI to Christmas Carol. I'm pretty sure that was pretty close to the book. But they've also added that in negotiations to play Scrooge is none other than frequent collaborator Willem Dafoe. So what's up next for Eggers? Is it this move or Eggers? Is it this Christmas Story? No, it's actually Werewolf, which he plans to shoot later this year. I love all these dope directors using Willem Dafoe as a lucky charm. Wes Anderson, Yorgos Lanthimos, all the greats. Anyways, you can check out Nosferatu on Peacock if you want a little taste of what could be A Christmas Carol. In other super news, James Gunn commented on what's going on with Batman 2. It's been pushed quite a few times, and by the Batman 2, I mean Matt Reeves' The Batman sequel with Robert Pattinson. And someone recently asked James Gunn, hey, what up, doe? He said, what Matt's doing is still really important despite all stories to the contrary. We're supposed to see that script shortly, and I can't wait. So that's exciting. I want this shit to move along. I'd like there to be a script that they're ready to fucking shoot. You can check out The Batman on Max right now. Ashley Nicole Black to pen Ma 2. Now, again, I haven't finished Ma. I just started it one day and I completely forgot about it until like days ago when I first reported that they were making Ma 2. I love Octavia Spencer, so I'm down. I just wasn't down for like the storyline necessarily. But if Octavia Spencer said yes and they're doing a sequel, I'm going to watch that movie. If you don't know Ashley Nicole Black's work, she wrote for Amber Ruffin Show, which I'm so mad isn't on still. Black Lady Sketch Show, which I did really enjoy, especially in the Quinta Brunson years. Bad Monkey, Shrinking, and Ted Lasso. You can rent Ma, the first one, right now. No word yet on when Ma 2 will come out. I'm assuming either the end of 2026 or the beginning of 2027, since there's not even a script yet. The Roots are making the movie. Roots co-founder Black Thought is writing and directing a new narrative film that they hope will drop audiences into hip-hop soul, and it's powered by Wonder Room, a 360-degree immersive platform. I don't quite know what that means, except all I heard was that Black Thought's doing a narrative film. I'm very excited about it, and he's teaming up with, of course, Questlove, because you can't do anything without Questlove, which isn't true. He's done solo albums and featured on other songs that didn't involve Questlove. Sorry, I'm a big The Roots fan, if you didn't know. I believe that Black Thought may be the best rapper ever. Maybe not, but definitely up there. He's one of my favorites. I love his flow. In any case, he's making a movie. That's exciting. Cool. If you haven't seen his acting before, check out The Deuce on Max. Excellent series. Stars James Franco and James Franco. And if you want to check out Questlove's previous directed work, he did a couple of documentaries, but he did not do narrative films. But you can check out Sly Lives, R.I.P. Sly, and Summer of Soul on Hulu right now. Let's get a little cartoonish, shall we? Adult Swim is developing Heist Safari, a high-octane comedy from Dexter's Laboratory creator Gendy Tartakovsky. Probably mispronouncing your name, Mr. Tartakovsky. The show is described as an animated high-octane action comedy telling the story of three frog brothers who rob a bank. Seems simple enough, but the execution is special as exclamation point, hashtag, ampersand, $, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. That's what the log line reads, so that's what I'm reading to you. If Gendy Tartakovsky doesn't sound familiar, he did Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack, which you can rent Dexter's Lab right now, and you can watch Samurai Jack on Max right now. I have not watched all of Samurai Jack, and I really want to, especially after they came back with that like final season. I think that's super dope. And I always thought it was a badass show. In any case, Heist Safari should be coming out probably in the next few years. Let's get back to live action, but second season of the anthological series. And anthological meaning that each season is its own story. The first season of Presumed Innocent was with Jake Gyllenhaal and whether or not he committed a murder or not. And it ended with whether or not he was found guilty and who did indeed kill the person. If it was him, they revealed it was him. If it wasn't him, they revealed it was someone else. In any case, they've chosen their new lead and their new story for season 2. And the lead is Rachel Brosnahan. She's from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel that you can watch on Prime right now. But the second season of Presumed Innocent is inspired by Dissection of Murder, the debut legal thriller novel by Joe Murray. Never heard about it, but details around the plot are being kept under wraps. Having said that, if you just go out and buy Dissection of a Murder, you'll probably be able to figure it out. I'm assuming the show is still going to be a did she or did she not do it type of series. I'm down. Rachel Brosnahan is a good actress that you've probably seen as well in House of Cards. And I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting. But Marvelous Mrs. Maisel was a very well-made show. I still haven't finished it. I think I'm like one season before their final season. But very well choreographed, very sharp writing, and excellent acting from her as well. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. Speaking of other good actors, Matthew McConaughey and True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto have set their sights on another classic character to tackle, and that is Mike Hammer from a script by Pizzolatto. With more than 250 million copies of Mike Hammer books sold globally, it is often recognized as the most popular American mystery thriller series of all time. Hammer is credited with inspiring numerous other characters, including Dirty Harry, Jack Reacher, and James Bond, who Ian Fleming famously referred to as the British answer to Mike Hammer. Have you heard of Mike Hammer? Not my hammer. Everyone's heard of that. Ha ha ha, that it's small? Shut up, you. I never heard of Mike Hammer. So I do like detectives. I like film noir, and I definitely like Nick Pizzolatto's mystery writing. True Detective, specifically season 1, and I liked season 2, and I loved season 3. His writing is really cool when it comes to detective shit. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table. And don't forget, Nick claims that Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson would be down for another story to tell from the first season. So I think that'd be pretty cool too. In any case, this is something that we can bite our fingernails over. And then the last piece of news, Sir Gary Oldman, the Oscar-winning Darkest Hour and Slow Horses actor, has been knighted by King Charles III in the monarch's birthday honors. If you don't know Gary Oldman, you don't know good acting. I almost burped and I almost threw up projectile. If you don't know Gary Oldman, he deserved to be knighted because he's one of the greatest actors who have ever lived. Weird picture for me to choose, but he's very comfortable in this new show that he's on that I told you guys time and time again that's excellent. That's Slow Horses on Apple TV+. Watch it. It's hilarious. It's a great, like, spy thriller. It's super fun. Anyways, he's one of the greatest actors of all time. This is a long time coming. He should have been knighted a long time ago. What took you so long, Britain? Ridiculous. Elizabeth, you should get out of your grave and you should have been the one to do this. But I digress. Some works of his that you should see that you can only rent right now are Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, one of my favorite films, but I will admit I don't recommend anyone to watch it, even though I just told you to watch it, because it is one of the most boring movies in the world, but it's so fucking good. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Excellent Dracula story. Definitely better than Nosferatu, in my opinion. With Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins. Very well-made film by Francis Ford Coppola. You can rent right now. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was the second in the reboot series. Probably my favorite amongst all of those new Planet of the Apes films. That you can rent right now. Leon the Professional, which you may remember Gary Oldman's meme of saying, everyone! That's Gary Oldman. He's that famous meme guy. Leon the Professional is, I remember it being a really good film, but it has a very predatory storyline with a young Natalie Portman. It's very weird, very controversial these days. I would say I have to watch it again, but I don't want to. Why don't you watch it and let me know? You can watch that one on Pluto. True Romance. He plays one scene in True Romance that some may say would be offensive, but he's really good in it. I don't care. You can rent that. And Darkest Hour, which he won an Academy Award for. And he was excellent as Winston Churchill. That you can rent. But, of course, if you haven't seen it, The Fifth Element. Probably one of the best movies ever made. That you can watch on Pluto right now.